Your domain can be paid for, renewed, and live, and still not really be under company control. That sounds backwards, but it happens more often than founders think. One employee sets up the registrar account. An agency registers the first version of the domain. A contractor controls DNS because they launched the site. Years later, nobody knows which inbox owns the login, which card pays the renewal, or who can approve a transfer when something goes wrong. The risk is not theoretical. Domain Name Wire recently covered a lawsuit where a cybersecurity startup alleged that a former employee was holding the company domain hostage. The company had to point users to a temporary domain while the dispute moved through legal channels. The details of any case can be contested, but the operator lesson is simple. The company domain should not depend on one person, one inbox, or one undocumented relationship. So here is a practical startup domain access checklist. First, confirm the registrant. The company should know which legal entity or approved owner is listed for each critical domain. Do not confuse the person who can log in with the organization that should own the asset. A domain used for your website, email, app login, customer portal, or investor materials should have a clear ownership record. Second, document the registrar account. Write down the registrar, the account owner, the recovery email, the two-factor method, and the internal person responsible for keeping that access current. Store that information in your company password manager, not in one employee's notes or a private inbox. Third, separate domain ownership from day to day. DNS work. Your web team may need to edit DNS records. That does not mean they need full control over transfers, registrant changes, billing, and account recovery. Use the least access that lets people do their jobs. Fourth, check nameservers before there is an emergency. Nameservers need to be reachable, authoritative, and consistent. IANA's requirements are a useful reminder that two nameservers are not enough if they disagree or do not answer correctly. If your website works today by accident, a domain move can expose the problem at the worst possible time. Fifth, make renewals boring. Confirm the renewal date, payment method, backup payment method, and notification inbox. Then set a calendar reminder that is not tied to a single employee. The goal is not heroics. The goal is a boring renewal that nobody has to rescue. Sixth, map the blast radius. For each domain, ask what breaks if access disappears for a week. Website, email, API callbacks, password resets, paid ads, customer trust. That list tells you which names deserve extra controls and which ones can wait. Seventh, review access whenever people leave. Offboarding should include registrar access, DNS providers, web hosting, CDN settings, email routing, and recovery inboxes. If someone had domain access, remove or rotate it the same way you would with cloud or payment systems. This is where Catches fits into the operating workflow. Use Catches to search, track, and inventory the names that matter to your business. Add key domains to a watch list. Keep notes on ownership, renewal timing, and risk. If a critical name is not under your control yet, treat it like a real business asset, not a loose end. A strong domain strategy is not just picking a better name. It is making sure the company can prove, renew, configure, and recover the name when pressure hits. Before your next rebrand, funding round, agency handoff, or employee exit, ask one question. If the person who set this up disappeared tomorrow, could the company still control its domain? If the answer is not obviously yes, fix that before it becomes the story.